we're probably not going to start for a little while. I assume Jane is coming. Is Otter coming? Does anybody know?
Should be.
I
Let
believe
us
so. I
find
know
out.
he's off today.
And I don't know about Sarah. She doesn't seem that committed, to be honest. If this other guy shows up with a character ready to go, I guess it wouldn't hurt to have him join in since we
Yeah, I
probably
wasn't
not
sure
have Sarah.
what the protocol was. So I just kind of was like,
I would have
middle.
preferred you asked me first, but it's okay. And I also would prefer to get to know the guy and at least be introduced to him before I DM for him. So I'm not sure if I want him to join in this session, but we can see how it goes.
Sure.
Mike also said he might invite him to join in the Tyranny of Dragons. So
Oh yeah,
we
he's
could
more than
kind of,
welcome to join us there.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I hopefully I didn't step on toes too bad. I did say like it's up to the GM, but
Yeah,
just in
I
case.
appreciate that.
Maya he, Maya who, Maya ha,
That's a throwback.
Maya ha ha.
Vintage memes.
I know, right? Maya he,
Did you
Maya
guys
who.
experience Badger, Badger, Badger?
Badger, badger,
You
badger,
remember?
badger. I don't remember that.
Remember when
Mushroom.
that was a thing?
Mushroom.
Snake, oh, it's a snake, etc., etc. Badger, Badger, Badger.
All right. So, question is, what things do I want to prepare for the spell storing item?
here now.
Also, Mike, don't forget to reset your paladin because he's still missing health from the simulation combat that we ran.
What the heck?
That was 16 hit points.
Is that all? Is the only thing changed is 16 hit points missing? I can fix that.
That's all I lost. Yeah.
Not bad.
You didn't cast any spells or anything?
Oh no, I already reset my spells. I just didn't reset my hit points.
There we go.
I honestly thought I had.
Also, library personnel, Milivaj, Dimitri. While we are in the library also...
Oh shit, Mike, that looks so much doper.
What? The map?
The overlay.
Yeah.
I'll look at it in a sec. Just give me a minute. Milivaj, where are you on this very massive list?
Bum, 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 bum. Last thing I remember us being in the lobby playing, and then going, let's train.
Yep. That looks pretty cool, Mike.
It's your artwork. I just like threw the.
No, it's not mine. I got it from a video game. I can't claim credit for that. I stole a lot of what goes into this, so it's not... none of it is for profit or anything like that. It's just my own creations, my own transformations on the inspiration material,
Absolutely.
which this is the background is part of, and this music is also part of as well.
Oh, cool. That might be of a Diablo.
I do have some Diablo music uploaded to Roll20 if you want to hear that too. I've got music. Video game soundtracks are honestly 75% to 80% of my personal playlist that I listen to at all times. So I have a shit ton of music. I love the Myst series music, and I listen to it all the time. So naturally, I wanted to use it in this campaign, which was inspired. Anyways, so the little pangolin that follows Milivaj around has this feature that lets him perfectly remember everything he sees and hears. He records it all in his little notebook thing, which itself is a magical item of legendary proportions. If you want copies of any of the notes he's taken, you can ask him and he will provide them. And if your character wants in-game paper copies for some reason or anything like that, digital media storage or whatever form of record keeping that you have in your home universe, he can accommodate you.
Excellent.
So he can produce paper copies as long as you concentrate on them. They remain in existence, and then if you concentrate on them for an hour straight, then they remain solid, and you don't have to concentrate on them anymore. But if you want to just have them to look over, you can look at them, and as long as you're concentrating on them, they will be there. And then when you're like, okay, I'm done with this, then they will just demanifest, and you don't have to worry about dropping papers or anything because they'll just be gone.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
So he can kind of produce these records on request. He can give you permanent copies, or he can give you copies that will expire and just vanish once you're done reading them. That kind of thing. He can also recount things, like he can perfectly mimic sounds he's heard. He can replay conversations or events to you. So if you need to look up something in a sense, he is your record keeper. He is your journaler for this whole adventure. He will be watching everything and taking notes. Everything that you see in the journal tab, which says library records, I think there's a few things. There should be a few things in there visible already to everybody. Those are all Dimitri's notes. So, and if you want him to add something, speak up. He'll add something. If you want a note added where you can edit your own stuff and make your own notes in game, he can give you one of those too.
Cool
I guess we're not really expecting Sarah at this point, right? Okay. So,
Hey, Drew.
Hello, friends.
hello. Did you perchance hear any of what I just said?
I did actually. I have it.
Oh, good.
I had the mic muted and you talking on the audio speaker thing. Where I can set it up.
Cool.
So,
Tight. And we are streaming,
all-
friends.
you are in the roll-up observatory. Let me just.
And now I'm not playing out of. I
It
spent the
is.
whole last session playing out of my car, so I'm very excited to be physically here.
Yeah.
Speaking of my car, I don't have it. It's in the shop still.
What happened?
So I was it failed smog. I was taking it to the mechanic and it died on the way to the mechanic this morning. So I got it towed there. And then they were like, it's going to be $750. Here's what we think is wrong with it. I'm like, okay, I need it to work to pass smog, so okay. And then I got a call about an hour ago and they're like, yeah, we have to do one more test in the morning. So Ubering to work tomorrow should be a good time. But it's been a good day. I just kind of got to hang out. I just texted to work. I was like, yeah, I'm not not coming to work because my car tried to kill itself today. I'm here for it. Gonk is here. I'm in the mindset. I'm focused.
Okay. So when we left off, you had all reached the roll-up observatory, which was this floating space station in the ring plane of a giant blue and purple gas giant. The station has got these kind of walls made of metal that looks like copper or bronze, kind of a burnished browny shiny color. And in between are these very tall arched panels with detailed stained glass images on them. Just abstract designs and color washes and kind of pastel scenes, and not a lot of like most of it is abstract. It's just shapes and colors, but it's very beautiful the way it's put together, and they're kind of almost looks like they're lit from behind, like there's lighting behind these stained glass to make them glow softly and be very visible up and down the long hallways of this place. Currently, you are standing in the room with a linking bubble to Direbo, which is what you have been advised by Milovaj as a rest plane. Your friends Saren and Belly, the Warforged Artificer and the Human Paladin, have been there to check it out, so they can tell you what they saw. You also next to the Mending Font, which is this large kind of circular construction made up of 5 pillars, 4 surrounding a central one, and then a shallow pool of water, which is also aglow with energy. And Milovaj has told you that if you stand in this, you will be healed of wounds, and over time it can cure diseases and sickness and things like that. And they're not sure what it can do. So far, it has healed every disease that any person has had who stepped into it that they know of. They haven't yet tried to see if it can like regrow limbs or anything like that, but who knows? We don't know what powers it. We don't know how powerful it is. Proceed.
Refresh my memory. Does Derillian respond to us in this area?
Yes, you've also learned there is an AI, an artificial intelligence, that lives in the Roll-Up Observatory as well as Roll-Up itself. Architect Derillian, a personality imprint of the founder of, basically not the founder so much as the builder, the architect who designed Roll-Up and who built it and kind of oversaw it. His imprint is in there. Apparently, also his wife Nox is in the system as well as the groundskeeper AI. She supposedly doesn't talk much because she supports environmental and life support systems, whereas Derillian takes care of communications and computation and communications with the inhabitants, such as yourselves.
I move we call Derillian Janet for the rest of the campaign.
No. Know where you're going with that. No.
I appreciate the reference, but
I'm
totally
down with being voted down on that.
not
It's
a
more
girl.
joke. Yeah. It was
not
more
a
joke
Janet.
than anything else.
Not a
Janet.
girl. Not a Janet.
Not a Janet. Derek.
A Brad?
Did you all see what happened to fucking Derek at the end of that show? Wasn't that just balls?
That
Wait,
was
what
the
show are we
tits.
talking about?
The Good Place.
The Good Place? Have you seen the?
Oh, no.
Okay, I won't spoil it. It's
It's okay. I don't plan on watching it. Go ahead, talk.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
I just
We'll
like
talk
to
about it
go
later
there.
at break or something.
There we
Yeah,
go.
okay.
Put my plan to the back.
You guys are in the roll-up observatory.
Mhm.
What you guys can see the linking bubble to Durebo. All linking bubbies. Bubbies. Oh, we should
Bubbies.
call them that now.
The bit-
Linking bubbles are Rone technology. They link you from one dimension to another, and it's a large bubble. It's about like what's the scale on this map? It's like 20 feet in diameter, so it's a pretty big bubble. And on it, there's a shifting image. It's like a transparent, translucent blue bubble that kind of in the air, and on it, like as if projected from a video projector or something, there's an image of a scene like a swamp at night, and it's this kind of mound amidst the swamp where there are more linking bubbles, and there's these little wooden bridges connecting little islands amidst this murky, dark swamp under a starlit sky.
Friend
That is
Aurelian.
Rainbow, which is go ahead.
Friend Aurelian.
Speak.
So the image that we see there, is that where this bubble goes to?
Correct.
And it's that image is right there and now.
In real time, with such as can be said,
Interesting.
with respect to time flows and whatnot. Jirebo and Roll Up, the Age of Roll Up, are in exact temporal step, so there is no need for dilation.
Okay.
So in theory, we can look before we leave.
Correct. That is the purpose and function of a linking bubble. It is to show you where you are going.
That was not an attempt at a joke. I was being absolutely serious. This
As was I.
Fantastic.
Linking bubbles are Rone technology. You will encounter them frequently within Roll Up.
Oh, if only the mages back home could see this.
To activate a link is also a bit of an intuitive process. And when the link activates, it will take everything in the bubble that participates or is intended to follow through the link. So if, for instance, you wanted to carry 20 square feet of freight through a linking bubble, but you can't touch the entirety of it at once yourself or have it all touched by one person at once, you go in yourself, you say, I want to take all of this with me, and you activate the link and you link with your freight.
Okay.
On the other hand, you cannot be unwillingly linked. So if a linking bubble you are standing in activates around you and you do not want to go, you do not go.
It's
So you
incredibly convenient.
You can't drag somebody into a linking bubble and then kidnap them to another age that way.
Like whoever designed this thought of all the bullshit.
I know, amazing.
Weird
It must be
is-
magic.
There are safeguards upon safeguards in these systems. Some things you may not ever even realize are active. Some laws are in place within Roll-Up that have been in place for, as far as I know, 1 billion years. This is Milivaj now talking.
Yeah.
Is-
And there's no way to turn them off except there might be, but we don't know they exist yet, so we have to know that the restrictions are in place. We have to run into them before we can try to turn them off.
So we're going to the bubble, right?
yes.
If you would like to go through this bubble to Direbo, we can see our accommodations, where we'll be staying as we explore, and where we'll be returning to, our safe harbor, so to speak. If you want to proceed into Roll-Up itself, then we need to go to a different bubble.
I'm good with going to Roll Up itself.
Yeah. That's.
Would you all like to see the station?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go see the station. I think.
Okay.
Let's lead the way.
He leads you back into the main hall. And
All paladin, Russ.
What's that?
he says,
You are all paladin. I can tell by your aura.
Yes, that am.
let us enter the Crossroads bubble, and I will activate it in order to get it to send us to Roll-Up. Funny story, quick aside out of character. When I originally did this map by hand, I forgot to add a linking bubble to Roll-Up. I have one to the Crossroads plane and one to Direbo, but not one to Roll-Up. When I made it recently, again, in Roll20, digitally, guess what I forgot? A linking bubble to Roll-Up. So now it's this one. That's funny. I'm an idiot. Back to the game now. I am Invoker Milovaj, and I am taking you to the station. This is going to be fun. We will arrive in an area known as the Cathedral Inbound Links. Well, rather the Orrery Cathedral Inbound Links. Because of the well, you'll see. It's fairly obvious once we're inside, and then in the main hall.
Would this be a good time for us to break down all the auras that we have? So
If you
everybody
like.
knows?
For each other or for?
Yeah.
So there's 2 paladins, and there's an artificer who has a dome thing that happens around him sometimes.
I have no auras. I am gonk.
I don't believe paladins can stack their auras on people. Is that correct?
Only the highest relevant bonus applies. So you don't get both paladins' charisma bonuses, but if
Yeah.
one has a +4 and the other has a +5, you get the +5.
Cool.
Which is entirely reasonable, or else we'd run into this issue where why do we have +8s to everything?
Yeah.
So,
So, Mike, Russ, you probably have a higher aura
My
percentage.
charisma modifier is a 5.
Yeah, so yours would override mine if we're in the
Okay, so if you're within 30 feet of Miles, which is the blue aura, I set that to 30 feet, and in theory it should stay consistent because some of the maps are 10-foot squares and some are 5-foot squares.
His is like purple,
So
pink. Is that what that is?
no, yours is pink, Saren, and Belly's is blue,
Green.
green.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, the bubble is interfering. Miles, there we
Cards
go.
are stacking.
I'm moving you on a different 30 foot. So yeah, if you're within 30 feet of if you're in 30 feet of Miles, you get that bonus on your saves. And you cannot be frightened because Paladin fear immunity happens, correct?
Yes,
Wow.
that is correct.
Okay, so that is good to know.
So
That's very useful.
yeah, I don't know if you want to do it like mine, Russ, where I kind of break it down because the only thing I don't think we have mutually is the last one, which is that if any fens and undead are around me,
Correct.
they get a +4, which is against us actually.
Demons, devils, other evil outsiders of the fiendish subtype, as well as undead, when they're within 10 feet of Saren, they get a damage bonus because of reasons.
Because of
Nice.
reasons.
So as you guys link, you hear this strange sound. It's almost like a great chord being twanged or plucked, like the string of a cosmic guitar. And a few of you hear some things. I'm gonna put those of you who hear the things into a different channel briefly, and I'll tell you what you hear.
Quick, Cruz, grab your base. Make the
So
guitar
who
sound.
is it? Let me just see.
Oh, I can grab mine. It's behind me somewhere. There, it's in the corner. I finally tuned
Can I
everything.
add a new? Yes.
Mine's over
Oh,
in
my-
the corner.
New strings, new everything. I just need another stand because I have a Flog and Molly signed one that I'm trying to figure out where to hang, or not hang, but like.
Oh,
Okay.
did I ever show you my signed Dead Milkman poster?
No, but oh yes, actually you did. That was super chill.
Okay.
What is happening?
Mike's sending us secrets.
Oh, cool. Secrets.
Secret lover to the rest of the day. I
Damn it.
don't know the words.
I want
So I
more
don't
Reese
know
cup
what
peanut
to
butter
say.
eggs. But I already had like 5 of them. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my god, that was absolute chaos. I moved some of you into the
You
wrong
moved- you
chat,
moved-
and then
yeah, you
briefly
moved
people
all of
moved
us
back
into
and
the
forth.
other one.
I'm very
Yeah.
sorry. Now we're all in this one, but that's fine.
Who has privileges?
The people I did not just speak to in a different channel. What happened as the link happened was you heard the plucking of the cosmic guitar, and then the world changed around you. Have you all successfully? No, you haven't. You are now in the Orrery Cathedral inbound links, and you can see. Sorry, I moved you out of the bubble because I was trying to tell apart your auras. But you're all in this bubble, and you're in a room with 3 other linking bubbles in this kind of large, empty-ish looking room. The walls are just kind of bare gray metal, and the floor is similar, but it is a brownish, painted brownish, similar to the coppery tinge of the walls of the roll-up observatory. But this is the floor here, and there's kind of just a pale, sourceless light coming from, you suspect, the linking bubbles themselves. They're emitting this kind of soft blue glow that fills the room with a dim light that's enough to see by, and dark vision people having, obviously, you can see anyway. And you find yourself in this room. You can see there's a hallway out beside you. Did I bring Milovage with me? No. Oh, yes, I did. I don't think I brought Dimitri, but fuck him, he's fine. So he says, we can look around here if you like, or the main hallway of the cathedral is this way. You can see in that other room beside you, there are an additional 4 linking bubbles.
Oh, do I have... Okay, I do have danger sense still. Alright.
Danger, stranger danger.
Sorry, I'm not kidding. I counted. Actually, I have to recount.
The bubbles that are outlined in red, those ones are outbound only, meaning that you cannot enter them. So some bubbles you will see in roll-up have a red outline. That means you can't go in this way, you can only come out this way.
Okay.
The one you just came out of is blue, which means it's either bi-directional or it's a one-way that you can step into.
I have 34 skills to keep track of, so I apologize if I forget some of it.
34?
34. Like,
what, like class features and such?
Like class features.
Oh shit, that's a lot.
What
I would do is just rearrange them all. The ones that are least important or that you have memorized, put them near the bottom. The ones that you need to reference, have them open near the top. That's what
I'm doing right now, because it's just like unarmored defense and flurry of blows and all that shit goes to the bottom. But it's like, you know, there's like timeless body. I can't age. It's like, okay, well, you know, I'm never gonna fucking use that unless I.
You can also see here. Unlike on the observatory, there is a visible holographic representation of Architect Aurelian standing in the hallway.
Okay.
It looks like a humanoid, but with kind of not really visible facial features, just pale blue and shifting. Kind of looks like he's made of many flat cardboard cutouts almost, but the cutouts are just pure blue light and they're shifting back and forth, kind of creating the illusion of a 3-dimensional object.
Could I?
Hi, Sarah.
Could I talk to it?
Hello.
You can actually hang on. I'm gonna pull out my holy symbol.
Sure.
Foul ghost, be gone!
Ow.
Your voice echoes throughout the large arched hallways of the inbound linked sector. Milovage looks at you curiously. I've encountered this religious ritual before, but I've never seen it done at a hologram before. What did you mean by it, Sir Paladin?
What did you mean by a hologram? 'Tis a ghost.
Did I explain about artificial intelligences already? I thought I had.
That was with me and Belly.
Oh, I see. This is not a ghost. It is a projection of light and force fields and photons and images created by a computer, a machine that thinks and has awareness. It knows what it is. It knows we are people.
An intelligent elemental. I understand.
Similar, yes. That is not quite accurate, but fairly close. A lawful elemental, an organized one that takes care of the station, makes sure, for instance, that the air pressure remains at a stable level, that it is fresh enough with oxygen, that we all breathe well enough, things of that nature. It has a fleet of maintenance bones. Wow. I was going to say bots and then drones at the same time. It turned into bones. So now they're maintenance bones.
For you there.
They repair things like damage, hull breaches from space debris. They maintain a force field to block off impacts with larger objects and things like that.
Okay.
Hey, we got us to Sarah.
Yep.
Hello. So, what's your character again, Sarah?
Yes,
Okay,
I took the hot chips.
Where is
Yes,
my
they're for me.
It's a
You
me.
can have some. They're still a bit.
Oh my god.
Actually.
Here we go. Sarah, roll 20.
Okay, nice. So you did end up getting that there. So
Cindy, we're playing D&D.
She can't hear you guys. I have my headphones on.
Oh.
Hang
Should
on.
I continue or?
Say it again.
Sandy, we're playing D&D.
Now she can hear you guys.
Nice.
I wanted hot chips. He ate them.
Well, that's
I want hot chicks too.
You heard hot
Well, there's
chicks.
some
I
in my
heard hot-
desk. I'll give them to you tomorrow.
Meanwhile, in the
It's
complex
actually not
fantasy world
supposed to be
Mike has
that
made
big.
for us.
something FBI open up.
Anyway,
Oh my god, you're already scrawling on my maps. What defacements await?
You
I
can
see a
them.
timeline of pain before me,
just wait till we
unrolling
fill it with dicks.
like
Excellent.
a fruit roll-up that's gone bad.
Cox is fucked. Yeah, I can see.
That's not bad.
That's what I see unrolling before me. That's the timeline of
Look,
defacement of my beautifully created maps.
my Barovia
cannot
map
wait.
has just been tarnished since day
On the
two.
one hand, I'm sad, but on the other hand, I'm like morbidly delighted to see what's going to happen. So let's proceed into the Orrery Cathedral.
Yes.
Cool.
Woohoo!
The oral sex cathedral. Let's go.
Wow, that's good. I can't believe I didn't think of that. That's good. That's seriously good.
That's the kind of church that Gonk signed up for. It's fine.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Actually, no. Gonk is actually, Gonk.
Funnily enough,
very much.
I did make a linking bubble from the Royal Observatory on this map. I just didn't make the inbound version. So this is the region you start in. However,
Look, you did a very good job, and then just missed one.
this
bubble.
is
It's fine.
yeah.
It looks great.
It's like, oh, I missed that one fucking bubble in the original. I have to remember to do that. And I was like, I got that half done. Honestly, though, you should see how many fucking maps are there in this thing. I can't wait to show them. So while this is happening, Sarah, your character is linked here forcibly, and you appear in the same bubble. Brevity. So what do the others see? Who's joining us?
And are they
Okay.
into it?
So my character is Mara Chiefsbane. She's a draconic sorcerer. She's a human, and she's just like she looks a little bit more like a fighter or a paladin than she does a sorcerer, but she spent a long time just like working as a mercenary in like an orc mercenary band defending caravans until she and the band chief had a difference of opinion, and she ended up fleeing the gang and has just sort of been wandering around since.
Okay.
Was it the type of difference
Pardon?
of opinion that ended up in bloodshed?
Perhaps, yes. But yeah, she's I mean, basically she's a socialist. She's
Oh, good.
she
You
is
and
a
Gonk will get along
sorcerer.
great.
Pardon?
You and Gonk will get along great.
Right? Yeah. When I saw that acolyte of change was like one of the sorcerer options, it was like, oh great, so must help bring about the changes the gods are constantly working in the world. And my first loyalty is to the common folk and defending them from the rich and powerful who would prey upon them.
Okay.
You are going to fucking love this setting.
Exactly.
Or rather, you're going to hate it passionately.
You're gonna hate. Yeah.
It's true. I think acolyte might be a bit
Because
of a
it's
misnomer there,
never mind.
because Mara actually it's not
So
that
when
she
you all
doesn't
when you
believe
all
any of the
appear
gods, she
in
just
the
kinda
in
thinks
the
they're
in the Orrery Cathedral, there is you're passing by. You're coming to see the main hall, and you're passing by a room with a linking bubble, and you hear the same noise that happened, the plucking of the cosmic string, as you walk by, and you turn and you see that a human has materialized in it.
Come on.
You, having accepted this contract, presumably, we're linked here, and what you see around you is basically a metal box of a room, pretty big. Like, what's the scale here? The room is like 30-foot square cube and metal, except for the floor is kind of this metallic, rusty colored metal. and there's kind of the only illumination comes from the linking bubble in the middle of the room, which is this literal bubble of bluish energy on which is projected an image of where you came from, which was the crossroads plane. In your case, it was, where did you come from? From what would the crossroads plane be for you? You're from Faerun, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to say you found a portal to the crossroads plane through the Feywild, because in the Feywild there is a particular shelter that you know about. It's a little like an archway of wood. It looks like the branches of two trees have just kind of grown together naturally, but you can see if you look at a certain angle, it's a deliberately shaped archway. This was kind of a secret passed down to you by someone you knew from the Orc clan.
Okay.
It leads to a place called the Refuge Plane, which is kind of an extra dimensional, it's just like a pasture with some forest and like a lake, but it doesn't.
Like
it's
the,
just that. It's just a little enclosed area with a pasture and a forest and a lake.
Like
and
the thing from. Do you ever read the Narnia books?
No, I'm
Okay.
vaguely familiar with them, but I think I know it's like a demi-plane, basically,
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
refuge plane. And in the refuge plane, there is another doorway which leads to the crossroads plane, and that is how you got to the crossroads plane. Is kind of an interdimensional highway. It connects all the dimensions of all the multiverses that ever were or have been or could be. So you can get to anywhere or anywhen through the crossroads plane, and that is how you were linked here.
And we ended up in a plane with space travel, apparently.
Yep. You are on a space station. It is, and you are now on the top level of that station called Roll Up. And as soon as you appear, lights turn on all along the kind of the base of the walls where the floor and the walls meet. A kind of glow appears, and a voice speaks aloud in common and says, "Welcome, inheritors."
Would I have any understanding of like the environment that I found myself in? Like, would I have any idea what I'm looking at? Like, is it common knowledge in like?
So I've chosen to take it in stride, but take certain things by surprise, like the hologram I thought was a ghost.
Yeah. I think for the most part, all of us are just kind of. We've reached the point in our adventuring travels where weird shit doesn't faze us, but we acknowledge that it's weird shit.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been through
like-
campaigns
you're like, this-
that get to level 18. Keep in
Yeah.
mind, so you would have a
You're like-
history of
you're like-
adventures behind you.
You're just like, this is a weird thing.
Think of your character
deal with
like
it
at
later.
the beginning, and then think of them going through 2 years of pain and hardship, but also joy as they level up and go on adventures, defeating little threats, and then bigger threats, and then continental threats, and then
And then space.
threats to the entire world, and then threats to the entire plane of existence. You know, you've dealt with some shit, some actual intense shit. You're level 18.
Yeah.
You know.
And we all have a therapist.
helps
on
when you-
Zoom.
And how old are you, Mara?
Mike,
How
you've
old is your
lost it.
sorcerer? Well, I'm just saying. How old is your sorcerer?
I'll be right back.
She's just leaving.
She
Just
fucking
like,
leaves.
bye.
Well, anyway, for those of you who are actually present in the Orrery Cathedral, it's still here.
We're done talking to the hall. We're done convincing Miles is the ghost.
Okay.
He leads you into this large main hallway, which is like probably 100 feet tall. It's like a hemisphere shape. It's a dome, and in the middle of it is this gargantuan orrery. Who knows what an orrery is? Raise your hand.
I do from Destiny.
Hey, okay. So basically, an orrery is like a
Destiny
model
Star.
of the solar system. There's like metal spheres, and then there's other metal spheres that rotate around those spheres.
Oh, I thought it was like a
and
house
they're
of
all
cards.
they're all on like
Aviary.
there's metal rings around the orbits. So like there's the sun in the middle, and then there's a planet, and then there's the moon going around the planet.
It's
So
like a
this
physical
orrery has a
planetary community.
gigantic sun in the middle, and then there's two huge gas giants that are orbiting it at equidistant lengths, and then both of those gas giants have independent clouds of moons going all around them. All of this in huge, complex metal machinery and clockwork, spinning above your heads in this slow, continuous, graceful, mechanical movement. And outside of the two gas giants, there is one, and it is a large single gas giant with many it's got these enormous rings that are detailed, and they look like a delicately balanced symbol about 10 feet in diameter as this planet slowly rotates around the outer edges of the room. and that one is also orbited by a large cloud of moons and variously sized things that themselves have moons and moons upon moons within these enormous rings. And you can see, make a perception check,
Group.
Just the whole party.
everybody.
I have a 1 to perception. Woohoo! Gonk.
It's not that great. To be real.
Miles, Mara,
I only
notice
have a
this.
+2, but
It's
doesn't matter.
pretty shitty.
Nope.
Did you do it? No.
So-
hold on.
Miles and Mara and Belly, you all notice amidst the rings of this gigantic gas giant in the orrery above you, you can see there is one small little thing that is like a little upright cylinder floating. That is the roll-up station. That is where you are right now.
Nice.
The rest of this place is called the Orrery Cathedral because it's a cathedral-sized orrery. You can also see there's other planets too out in the distance. The main kind of feature of the orrery is the twin gas giants, and then the one out kind of farther out that has roll-up around it. But there's other planets, there's other gas giants as well, and it's this massively complex thing. Must have taken ages and ages to build. It must be very, very complicated and have many, 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 many tiny moving parts. Countless.
Interesting.
So there's 4 ways you can proceed from here. Milovaj tells you a bit about this. He points down one corridor. The way we came leads to the inbound links. If we head, let me just move you all to the bottom of the screen for a sec so I can see the top of the map. If we head to that way, he's basically pointing to the up. There is a series of rooms known as the Patient Moon Chambers, the Watcher's Quarters. They are a puzzle, basically, left for the Rone to solve. I'm not sure where it leads. None of us have yet solved it, but it could hide treasure. It could hide anything, really. Over this way, and he points to the left, we will lead to the... Why is she a giant? What?
Her character token is like twice the size of ours.
It shouldn't be.
No, it's fine. I'm just joking.
I thought I had fixed it.
Where
There's a place off to the side called the Keep. This is basically a self-diagnostic, the command and control center for the roll-up station itself. And to the other direction is Orrery Control, which is where the time machine is. So do you have questions?
Possibly several, but Gonk.
We do have a specific mission to undertake. I'll let you know about it in time, but I feel you should maybe get acquainted with the area first and ask any questions you can think of to get more familiar with this place, because...
Tell me the name of that place again, the Patient Moon or
The
what?
Patient Moon Chambers, the Watcher's Chambers. The Patient Moon is something spoken of by a Rone prophet he was only called the Watcher.
It's south
he was...
of us?
No, that is north. South is
North.
inbound links. That's where you came in.
Gotcha.
The Patient Moon and the Watcher were kind of this religious figure among the Rone so far. We've deciphered a little bit. There is a museum back on the observatory that does have some exhibits related to that, but we would have to go back there to look at them.
I don't. Gonk doesn't do so well with reading.
Huh? Sorry?
Well, you don't have to read. I can read all writing. That's part of the gift of my god, and I can also translate it into any language. So, Dimitri can rather. So I can read it, and if he can write it down, he can then recite his record to you. So you need not read in order to be able to engage with the library records.
Miles
One of the
puffs out his
things
chest.
we try to do is accessibility. We try to get a dissemination of knowledge as far and wide as possible to all the ears that can possibly hear it or perceive it in any other sense that they may have. Very willing, be they willing to perceive it. We want it to be there for them.
So objectively, and this is me out of character because Gonk's not a Gonk. Like I said, Gonk's a, where do you guys want to go? Like, what do you guys want to check out? Because I think we have like 3 options here, realistically. And I don't have a personal preference in it as of yet.
Yeah, I don't really think that I really do either because I'm not entirely certain where we're headed.
right now this is basically the not the hub, but an addition to the
yeah.
hub. If I'm reading this correctly.
This is the hub.
This is the hub. So I mean, hey.
However, all of the things you can go to except for orrery control are part of the hub. So orrery control is where your three choices, your three true choices are of where to go in terms of actual dangerous adventure. Everything in the cathedral is puzzles.
Yeah.
Except for maybe a few hidden things here and there, maybe, but it's unlikely you'll find.
I'm gonna be 100% honest, everyone.
Secret.
Gonk doesn't do puzzles unless it's a physical puzzle. Not because
there are some physical puzzles in the patient moon rooms.
I'm not saying it's because I'm not down. It's just because I'm literally I took nothing that would allow me to ever solve a puzzle.
Miles was trained to lead, not read.
I think
this is reassuring. I'm so glad to hear all of this, you guys. You guys are gonna find all.
We're all a bunch of fucking idiots except for Belle.
I mean, my character has 4 intelligence.
Okay, so it's Mara.
You have 4 intelligence?
4?
That's not okay. You're sub-sapient.
Wait.
That's
No,
not
sorry,
that's
I
not
have,
verbal.
Like my modifier.
Her modifier. There's no way she has 4.
Oh, so you mean your intelligence is 18?
My actual number is 19.
Okay. That's
Okay.
that is good.
Like
that is fucking fantastic.
I thought she built an int-based character. Stat.
What skills do you have, Gonk?
Well, Gonk has a lot of skills that will
Intimidation,
be revealed
performance, stealth, survival, athletics, animal handling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonk has a lot of extra shit that as a monk allows me to do some weird stuff that will be revealed as time goes.
There's a particular age that your skills will thrive in.
Yes.
Everyone I suspect will have a particular age they thrive in.
Gonk is very good with the people.
Although probably some people will just thrive everywhere because they're brokenly strong, but that's fine. Where do you guys want to go?
I say let's head towards danger, and he starts headed toward.
It's okay. I think my character will probably balance it out because I didn't really do any min-maxing or anything.
I don't think trust me, Sarah. I made my character as literally un-min-max as possible. Like I think the only reason I'm decent is because I took enough levels. This character would have died somewhere along level 10.
Yeah, I mean, like
actually in a campaign.
Like the concept of my character is just like a sorcerer that really likes to punch people in the face, but magically.
Ellie,
so, like,
Ellie
it's not
calls
exactly like an optimized character.
Gonk would like to. Gonk follows Miles just kind of like casually.
And where are you going, Miles?
Miles is going up
towards the control room. You said something about
Orrery
danger
control.
there.
Okay.
Oh, I kind of wanted to go to a puzzle.
Well, what's going to be, everybody?
Split up and search for clues and make them know. I'm kidding. Don't do
that.
You can split up if you want, but I can only DM for one group at a time. Is the problem?
I'm not deeply
We don't
invested.
split the party.
No, let's go with Miles for a bit, and we can come back down and do the puzzle afterwards when we're almost dead.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That.
You guys head to orrery control.
No, I'm gonna stand in the middle and ask a question.
What is the question?
Put it in chat there. Derillian.
So basically, in this, if you guys want to talk to each other privately, do it in chat. But if you want to actually speak in game to the NPCs, speak aloud.
Okay.
Speak aloud. Yeah, I want to ask Derillian a question and just say, hey, Derillian, is there any benefit to completing these puzzles before heading towards danger?
There is tremendous benefit to completing the puzzles.
Before danger.
What is that benefit?
The benefit is multifaceted. The benefit takes the form of any or all of the following things: knowledge, power, material wealth, magical advantages, the lifting of restrictions you do not know about. End of list.
Derillian, one more query.
Proceed.
What are our odds of survival if we were to proceed without solving these puzzles?
Unknown.
Well, then it seems logical that we solve these puzzles to increase our odds of survival.
Oh, sure.
Your logic is flawed. However, in a way, you are also correct.
I hate him.
I feel like you're right, but for the wrong reasons. Has kind of been Mike's mood tonight.
I have a feeling that I have a very strong feeling.
You're right for the wrong
this
reason.
entire campaign.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to know.
You know what you
Puzzles.
signed up for.
I did, but the reality
kinda
is kind of
clank, loses
crashing
jaw.
into me a little bit. So
Okay,
we're remodulating in process. We're
Okay.
rebalancing in progress.
Could you paint me like a word picture of what I'm looking at, like in the room over here?
In the main hall of the Orrery Cathedral,
Yeah. This
you
is.
are looking at a vast open room. The room is.
I see. I'm looking at this
Are you guys
cross section the wrong way, I think.
in the right? Did I move you to the right? No, I fucking didn't.
Yeah, we're
Sorry.
still in the Oh, that's dope.
Oh, that makes more
Please
sense.
speak up if
Okay,
that happens. Do you
yeah,
guys? Can you guys see?
The other one was a vertical cross section, right?
You guys see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
This is the Orrery Cathedral.
Cool.
So you have this is the direction you came from.
Yeah.
I'm pinging it, and it's the exact same fucking color as the background. Of course it is.
So is the Watcher's Chambers?
This way leads to the Patient Moon Rooms, which is the puzzle chamber. This is to the Keep, which is the roll up control, and this is to the Time Machine control or control.
Patient Moon. I don't. Anyways, yeah. Take me to the puzzles.
Is it going to be the puzzles or Orrery control?
Man,
Unless you're
we'll do
splitting the
puzzles
party.
first.
Are you
Let's
splitting the
split
party?
No.
We'll do
I think
puzzles
Okay.
we should.
Gonk doesn't split the party.
We shall go to the Patient Moon Rooms. Can y'all see yourselves?
Can.
Yes, indeed.
Just in the webcam. Oh wait, there I am. Just kidding. Scratch that. I had to scroll down slightly.
Yeah.
Probably should. I
So
should
there's a room up ahead. There's halls to either side.
my goal for the
One of them
night.
leads to a door. The other turns a corner, and then in this room, you can see on the floor there is this large design consisting of 4 circles surrounding a central circle with bigger circles and stuff. You know, you see it. There's a lamp above it on the ceiling, and there's a button on the innermost part of the pattern. And then sitting over here is a huge boulder sitting in what looks like the end of a curving passage in the wall that the boulder is barely big enough to fit in.
Can you? Does it look like the boulder was stopped by the wall from going into the room? Like it
Make a
rolled down?
perception check.
Oh god damn it! My specialty. 6. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's not hard to see. There is an obvious lip here at the side, at the edge. It looks like it's meant to stop here.
Gotcha. So this rolled down into.
So this is like blocking a passage.
In a sense. Make an intelligence check, anybody.
Oh God, why can't I say that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Woo!
Mara, or Gonk even. Yeah, you deduce that, and Mara.
Oh, why did it
save.
double?
That's a save.
You can deduce that the boulder is meant to be pushed up the path behind it.
The second I deduce it, I punch it.
Make an athletics check.
Hang on, I'm gonna jump back. What? Yeah.
Yeah, you push you don't punch it, but you punch it, and it kind of rocks backward a bit. It rolls a little bit, and then since you just punched it, it just kind of stops and then slowly rolls back into the position it was in.
Wait, so it's meant to go up the tunnel behind it, kind of?
Yes.
I mean,
but if you wanted it to go all the way up, you would have to keep pushing it. You would have to roll it up.
I see.
Let's.
The roll up and roll up. Got it.
Yes.
Make an athletics check.
It's time. It's Abe. Help Gonk push rock with Fred.
I would
Abe
clear the
Abe is the
hall.
wrong guy.
I mean,
So
I can help you.
My immediate thought here is I could use teleportation circle to get the boulder just out of the way so we can see what's up the tunnel.
I'm only strong. Let me
try.
have this.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll let you try it the old-fashioned way first.
Do I have a +5 strength?
Yeah, with all of you working together, it's no trouble to push the boulder up. You can see the tunnel twists and turns.
I've got +4 strength, so we are a buff party.
You get it up to there, and it's a bit of a tight corner up ahead. So, can I now have either 2 people make a check or 1 person make it with advantage?
Sorry, what kind of check is it?
Athletics.
Athletics?
I have +10 to athletics.
Yeah, I have a 9, so why don't you go ahead and make it?
Yeah, definitely want to use.
Miles, make it with advantage. With the others, you take a central roll, pushing as this
Yeah.
inclined plane is beneath your feet, and you are rolling this immense boulder, which is double any of your height. It is heavy, but it is solid, and you get the sense that the track it's moving in. Yep, that's enough. It's designed to fit exactly in this hallway, so it can't be moved past. It can only be pushed, and it will roll precisely to follow this path. And you manage to push it up another significant distance.
I mutter a prayer to Helm as I roll.
You feel the peace and kind of the deep well of confidence and strength and power from your god on your side, and you almost feel like.
Am I needed for this push?
You just hear
for the final one, you might. This one I need either. So I need 2 checks. One of them can be with advantage, or the other one can be like basically 2 checks. Only one of them can be with advantage.
How long would it take for me to run down here, see if I sense anything magical about the lamp, and then run back?
It would take not that long. It's like almost a little over 150 feet, so a couple of rounds, maybe about a minute to go and do it, and then come back to the party.
Y'all got that for a minute?
Yep.
Okay.
We should be okay.
Oh, if you're asking them, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Miles, do you want to make another check, and I can make the other one?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
I'm
Where's my
so
character?
sorry.
Where's
if I
everybody else?
forgot it's over. Just really curious.
Are you making the check?
I just
That's
did.
what I roll. I got a 19.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, you guys are both buff dudes, and you continue pushing the boulder without even. I mean, you've got 2 others with you as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Mara, you rush back to the chamber. Are you casting detect magic?
I was just gonna do an Arcana check, but
Sure. Do an Arcana check.
I don't think I have detect magic, so.
The arrangement of the design on the floor looks like it could be important somehow. You're not sure why. You don't really have enough information to speculate as to what the arrangement or the colors might mean. But you sense that they are significant somehow.
Okay.
Brilliant.
The lamp, just nothing.
The rest of you are pushing the boulder up. Belly, were you with the boulder pushing group?
Like,
Or did you stop in the pathway there?
So I'm not entirely too sure because my character wasn't even there. It was like down in the middle. So
Oh, you're where? Like here?
down here.
Down in the hallway?
So I didn't exactly say I was following them up there. I just kind of assumed
Sure.
everybody was
Yep.
moving.
I'll say Invoker Milivaj stayed here with you while the others went off to
Okay.
explore.
So then what then I will ask Derillian is Derillian, is this rock part of a puzzle that was unsolved?
It is.
Excellent. Can you tell us any solutions that did not work?
I cannot.
Ooh, nice question.
That is indeed
well,
a
thank you.
question, though. That was out of character, that remark from the DM.
Good question, buddy.
So
Howdy.
sorry,
Good
Mike.
try.
Just to clarify, I didn't sense anything magic about the lamp, yeah, or the button.
Well, without detect magic, they just look like a lamp and a button to you. They don't have any runes etched on them or anything, so your Arcana check with that, you only really notice that design on the floor.
Okay.
It's a 19. No, Mike, do we get the sense as we're pushing this thing that we're?
Are you casting detect magic?
No, I
Yes.
can't cast shit.
Okay. When we're done
Belly,
this,
you're doing it ritually?
I forgot to mention one enormous.
Yeah,
feature.
I would like to.
Okay.
So I'll do that when we're done.
So Belly, you begin casting detect magic ritually. The rest of you are still pushing the boulder.
About 5 minutes later, like.
It doesn't take that. Yeah,
shout back.
it takes a few minutes, but you do get the boulder the rest of the way up to the presumable top of its path. Oh, whoops! That was. Look away. You saw nothing. You get it up to here. Quite a distance. And right there, you see it settle neatly into a circular socket. and it sits there. You can lean against it, and it's now set there solidly.
Perhaps just a
This
Although, actually, no, wait.
Very-
Make a
This has Sisyphus vibes.
Let's see who's there. So Mara, you would make your way back up to join them. Make a wisdom check, and if you have proficiency in perception, add that to it. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Does my danger sense pick up anything from this? Oh no.
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll some perception, shall we?
Yeah, you know what?
You got the 21, right, Mike?
Oh,
The
God.
3 was you just clicked it again for some reason,
Yeah.
or did you get the nat 1?
No, I got the 21. I just clicked it
Okay.
again because I saw.
So
I didn't think it went for some reason.
Miles and Mara, you notice that the rock is not actually quite perfectly level. It looks like if you touch it and lean on it, it wobbles a little bit.
Can we get around it? Like off to the side?
You could try.
Did we hear a click or anything when it
No.
entered the...
You heard something like a click. It was more like a brief scrape, and then it just kind of.
Hey, wait a minute.
And the
there was a
boulder's still.
switch- There was a switch back on the floor. I bet that reset the switch that allows us to reset the process.
So around this
Sorry.
time, Belly, you are ritually
Did you
casting. The
just
10
fall
minutes have
asleep?
gone by.
Gross.
You get a strong feeling of magic from the very walls of this place, but there is also a particular signature coming from this wall over here.
Hmm.
The lamp and the button do not appear to be magical. Are you guys coming back down?
Mara.
I came back down.
Yeah, I'll head
Yes,
back down.
So,
Sarah, and
the
also.
thing that I wanted to mention, is...
So as you guys are coming back into the boxy room there with the lamp and everything, you hear a loud click behind you, and then a slow kind of grind
Oh no!
as the boulder, you presume, begins to slowly roll back down.
Oh no!
And if you wait here for another 6
Ah.
minutes or so, the 6 minutes it will take it to slowly all the way come back down to rest here. If you want to go push it back, you can, but that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's moving at about 20 feet
Yeah,
down the path
Sarah, we
per
can't hear
round,
you.
so it's not coming very fast, but it is rolling back down.
Alright.
So maybe so let me be honest. Maybe Gaunt goes and holds it with someone else, and then you
Sure.
guys all solve the puzzle. Because I feel like that's part of it.
I
agree.
have negative wisdom and negative intelligence, so...
You wanna come hold the rock with me?
Let's see. Alright, hold the rock.
I like to think that Gonk was standing there still as everyone else
Oh.
left, and he was just kind of ambling along and was just like, oh wait, and just goes back and just goes to push
Perfect.
it back into the slot. Yeah,
Yeah, I have a.
I have-
because I know my place.
14 wisdom.
I wanted to ask some questions about the puzzle.
Ooh, yeah.
So, bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
So the lamp, does it have the same colors as what's on the floor?
You don't know. You haven't turned it on yet.
Oh, so
Oh.
the lamp is off.
All right. Well,
okay.
let's hit the button and see if the lamp comes on.
You press the button, and the lamp turns on.
Hmm.
That's better. What does the lamp look like?
It's kind of made of metal and more stained glass in the shade, like kind of a square shape to the shade, and it's just more like a square glass case surrounding the whatever is producing the light.
Kinda
And
like a
on
carnival glass.
each of the triangular panels of the kind of almost pyramidal lampshade, it's got a circular pattern, each with a different color.
Does it correspond with the floor?
It does.
Are there any lights shining specifically on the floor in different colors?
The light is the one that's shining on the floor. You do notice, however, that the panels of the lamp, the one with the red glow on it, is facing the red circle on the floor. The gray glow is facing the gray, and so on.
Okay.
So the lamp matches the pattern on the wall, on the floor.
Interesting.
What if?
Am I like audible
We
now?
all
Or...
stand.
Yeah, no, we're
Really
good.
You're
low.
barely audible.
No, I can
Okay.
hear just fine. Bumper and Discord.
Yeah, you might just need to like up my
Yeah.
my
I will
input
do that.
volume.
Yeah, sorry. Say something, please.
Something, please.
Here, let me drop down my lower threshold.
Oh, there we go. I got you.
Is that more helpful?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's all stand on these colors and see if that does anything.
I agree.
Maybe it doesn't.
Okay, so important.
Doc, you're still holding the boulder up there?
Important character
Yeah,
detail about
Doc,
Mara.
still up there, yes.
She is nonverbal and learned to use magic to communicate to other people. So
Oh.
whenever she speaks, she just speaks directly into people's minds.
So yeah, she speaks telepathically.
That's not
Exactly.
creepy at all.
Does your
Seems
mouth
like a
move?
you
Do your lips
problem.
move while you communicate, or
Not
do you
at
not
all.
even bother trying?
No,
Okay. So yeah, you just
Usually,
hear
like,
her voice.
unless we
And it
happen to be
is
standing
weird
like,
thing.
right in
It
front
is.
of each other, not even bothering
It
to look,
sounds
really.
utterly indiscernible from a spoken human voice with a voice box and a tongue. You cannot tell the difference. It's as if
Right.
she's saying the words, but her mouth isn't moving.
And
It's
just
creepy AF.
The best trend of ventriloquist ever. Miles, do you want to stand on one of these colors? Belly?
I'll take the green.
You guys can stand on the colors
How
if
do
you
I
like.
unsnap to grid?
Hold Alt while you're placing your guy, and then place him that way.
Oh,
Cool.
there we go. Thank you.
Oh, you have to do it every time. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Oh well. Huh, well.
Belly, I do. But do you want to try standing on this thing real fast?
Are you in need of another person to stand? It
believe I
appears we
am.
have enough.
Yes.
Very well. I will position myself accordingly. Where would you like me to stand?
The only one that's open.
Understood. En route.
En route.
And right.
Does anything happen?
Nope.
Damn it.
After a few moments, Dimitri ambles into the center and stands there and looks up expectantly at the lamp glowing above him, but nothing continues to happen.
Dimitri, press the button again.
Dimitri obediently presses the button again, and the lamp turns off.
Oh god, what's that sound?
Sarah has unmuted herself.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Is the light? Did the light appear and disappear correctly on the map?
I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Oh wait, it's
Awesome. I'm glad that worked
I don't know.
correctly.
Yeah. Alright, let's check out this
I
wall.
guess.
Make an investigation check, anyone who wants to. If you're getting help, you can make it with advantage.
Belly.
I'll offer help to somebody that has more than a 0 investigation.
Or a -1 investigation. Belly.
Investigation?
Yeah, are you good at that? You said you wanted help with the wall. Oh shit, yeah, okay.
I'm pretty good at investigation.
Yes, I see that.
Take a crack at. Oh, a 30. Hey.
Hey.
You can absolutely tell that there is a hidden door
Oh, wow.
as part of this wall.
That wasn't even a credit.
But even with a 30, you cannot see a way to open it. It does not appear to be openable by any means accessible adjacent to it or that you can see.
Where's the secret door?
Right here. I'll draw a shape where it is.
Cool.
I think it's right here, isn't it?
It's possible that when we solve the puzzle, the door will open.
Well, that's usually how they
Invoker
work.
Milovage points to you, Sarah, and says, "A reasonable assertion. Well done, Executor."
Slight inclination of the head.
Would everyone do me a favor and step off the circles for a moment, please?
I'm drawing more.
Durillion.
Proceed.
I have a query. Is this more than one puzzle in this room between the dots, I guess the colors that we're standing on, and the boulder, or are these two separate puzzles, or are they the same?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Durillion.
All right. apparatus, would you be kind enough to step off the circle, please?
Apparatus. Very formal.
Formal dude.
Or very formally informal. Like he goes by Belly, and you called him by his first name. That was interesting. And it was almost like you calling him by like a surname. I liked that.
Press the button again while I'm standing in the center.
The light turns back on.
All right. Now, while the light's turning back on, I would like to see if there's any effect to the circles on the floor.
There's not.
Like, does it
Except they're now illuminated.
The lamp movable.
No. It looks like it's attached to the ceiling.
Is the button movable?
It is attached to a metal rod that sticks out of the floor and holds it up. The rod is only there to support the button, and it's at about like humanoid hand pushing height.
Hey, Mike, real quick. I need to pretend my token's here because with my aura, I can't see the light. So I'm gonna.
Do you want me to turn off your aura?
Oh, can you please?
Yeah.
So there must be something here with the ball that we're missing.
Let's let the ball roll back down and see what happens. I'm ginormous.
Well, that's gonna work. Maybe investigate a bit. Push this back onto the. Oh, the ball isn't placed properly.
I mean, those are two separate puzzles, I believe.
I don't think so.
I asked Aurelian, and Aurelian said they're two separate puzzles.
No, you said, are they two separate puzzles or are they the same? He said yes. Meaning he wasn't answering other question.
Oh. Damn it.
It's a
missed
truth.
That was indeed an irrational... Milovaj speaks up. That was indeed a somewhat irrational answer. Aurelian, could you clarify? And the hologram speaks again. They are the same puzzle, and they are different puzzles.
Alright,
So
Gonk, let's go ahead and push this. Yep. Alright, let's go ahead and put this back in place. Because we did that whole
can you
thing
come down
without
here,
it.
please?
No. What are you doing?
Gonk can't hear you guys, let's be honest.
He can't. He's
Yeah.
hundreds of feet up the tunnel.
Just
Alright.
casually sitting there just like, wow, this is taking
Let's-
a while.
Gonk, let's push this back into place.
Yeah.
So are you guys pushing it back to the top?
Yeah.
Make an
I thought
athletics check.
Alright. What's your athletics, Drew?
9.
Go ahead
Oh
and do it.
no.
20.
Yep, easily enough. You push the boulder back up.
Once
Into
again,
its
Sarah,
place.
it's a 9 modifier, not a 9.
Once again, it wobbles slightly as it sits there.
Got it.
Okay. You got it, Gonk?
I don't know
Okay.
this is going on. I'm still trying to figure out a correlation between the light and the circles, so I'm gonna go ahead.
Well,
and
I
press the
already
switch
answered.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, but I already answered that. He already answered the question while you were there in the room. I don't know if you remember, but okay. So the ball is officially in place. Gonk is holding it.
Gonk is holding the ball in place, yes.
It
Yep.
wasn't attached before.
Gonk, make a perception check with advantage.
I got a 20.
You notice as you're holding your hands on it, it's still not quite stable. It's rocking back and forth, almost as if there was an object like hand-sized underneath it. That it's
Oh.
a massive object, but it's still not quite balanced with the concave surface it's meant to sit in. There's something sitting underneath it.
I don't have anything ranged, guys. I'm sorry. I can't do anything. I have the mage hand to pull it out.
I was gonna say I have a suggestion, but I wouldn't know what's happening just yet.
Yeah, neither would I. I'm still dicking
Exactly.
with the switch.
Gonk just yelled something.
You
Yeah,
just heard
all
it
we
from the
heard-
hallway. Gonk need help.
While you guys down in the
I have an idea.
in the main room, Milovaj speaks up and says, "Oh, Dimitri has just been contacted by some ethereal pigeons." And he wanders off.
Okay,
And
I think
Dimitri
Mara's
goes up to
going
join-
immediately go running up the tunnel.
Dimitri goes up to
hold on.
join Gonk, and can now relay
For this, I have a
communication
thing
back
for
and forth.
this.
Thank
Oh,
you,
cool.
thank you.
I have a thing for this, guys.
Okay.
What is it?
One of the things I picked up from the sheet, I got sending stones, so we can send message back and forth.
Oh,
Once a
Oh,
day.
That's fun.
Sending
I
stones
think-
work once a day.
I mean, I think this is a good time for it.
Yeah.
I mean-
I do agree.
I was gonna say
Like,
Dimitri's
but is
gonna
it just like one like how does it work?
So a little while after Dimitri leaves, Milivaj speaks up and he says, "Oh, Gonk reports that, etc., etc." And he tells you that
Yeah.
there is a little thing stuck underneath the boulder up there.
There's an obstacle.
I'm sorry, I forget your
Miles,
name,
you've now been
girl.
standing
I
in the light here for
apologize.
about 10 minutes.
What was
Press
that?
the button and turn it off.
Light turns off.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna go up to. I'm sorry, young lady. With the dark hair, I didn't catch your name.
Murat?
Wow,
Yes,
that's
you.
creepy. I'm very sorry.
It's
voices
fine.
in
I
my
get that
mind.
reaction a lot.
But you wouldn't happen to have the ability to like pick things up by spell, would you? Like a mage hand, I believe it's called.
I don't think I do, but you know what I could do?
18, yeah, I'm assuming.
I
at
could
level
just take the
18 you
boulder
can do
out
that.
of here. I could just move it somewhere else.
But my concern is there might be some sort of pressure plate that it needs to sit in. Nobody would design a boulder to be rolled up a hill unless it needs to sit there.
Uh-huh.
But
I mean,
could
that's
you
true.
remove? Could you remove the object underneath of it?
Could I? Oh, that's a good question. Mike, I actually don't. I don't really know the limitations of. So. So I have teleport, but it's a single object that I can see within range. Can I see the object underneath there?
What are you talking about?
The teleport
Teleport?
spell. Here, let me. How do I send it to the?
I can look it up. Teleport.
Okay, sure.
That level 6?
Not to be confused with teleportation.
It's
It's a level
7.
7 spell.
The spell instantly transports you and up to alien creatures of your choice you can see with that you can see within range, or a single object. I did not know teleport could do this.
Mm-hmm.
Or a single object that you can see within range to a destination you select. So the range is 10 feet. You target an object, it must be able to fit entirely inside a 10-foot cube. It can't be held or carried by an unknown creature. Yep.
Whole time Gonks is
So
holding
as long as you
the
could see it,
wall.
you could teleport it. You could reach it from 10 feet away if it's at the middle of the boulder's set place thing.
Okay. Hey, Gonk, push the boulder as hard as you can.
Strength. I go back.
Make a
and
strength check.
punch that.
I like to think that Gonk actually just says strength.
You convey this through Milivaj and Dimitri, so it basically. Oh no, you're next to him. No, yeah.
To everyone else, it's just Gonk receives a meaningful look and then just
Yeah.
yell.
Strength.
Well, are you
What am I-
directing it to only Gonk, or are you directing
Gonk,
it
yeah.
like okay?
How,
So,
what do I need to roll to punch the shit out of this thing?
make an attack roll.
Oh yes. I guess it's a 15.
You punch the rock really hard, and it wobbles.
I use flurry of blows. I'm gonna spend a key point to attack twice. That's a 15 and then a 24.
You hit the boulder a couple more times, crack, crack, and it bounces against the back of its wall and rolls around furiously.
Do I get a moment where I can see the thing?
Make a perception check.
Sure.
I can attack more if you need me to. Don't worry.
I'm gonna say yeah. There's a point when you're crouched down and you've got your eye at floor level, and while he's beating the shit out of the boulder and making it roll around, there's a moment where you glimpse and you just cast the spell. And where are you sending it?
Just send it 10
Like-
feet that way.
Yeah, like 30 feet down the tunnel.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I'm
You
gonna
see,
jump back. Try and
some
maybe ease
little-
it in its place.
yeah, the boulder now sets solidly and clicks steadily into place, and now you can rock it a little bit.
I feel like we probably dismantled the switch.
No, you actually did thing.
Nice.
I need to
Is it
just
ready?
find out where in the fucking journal I put these things you just found.
Nice.
God, where the hell are
Good
they?
job, Sarah.
I feel. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hey.
Hey,
and
hey
good job,
guys, I'm
Con.
gonna go grab a glass
Extremely
of water
good
real
boulder
quick. I'll be right
punching.
back.
Did you guys see the tans that just showed up?
The witch?
The
The
what?
tans.
No.
No.
Yeah. Wait, what's this?
That's Dimitri.
Oh, you just have a different shape of icon.
I'll be right back.
I'm adding them to your journals.
Oh, okay.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, tan 1, tan 2. Okay, got it.
Oh, it's like a tanner.
So you should be able to drag them onto the map and manifest them, but you don't need to do that yet. They're puzzle pieces for specific puzzles.
Okay.
I have never seen this before.
Make a deception check.
You're full of shit.
You're gonna wish you didn't do that.
But you guys have two puzzle pieces that are about the size of your hand. They're made of metal and they're covered with intricate circuitry. They look like they're designed to fit together. Like when you stick them together by the sides, they click together almost like magnets. But you can pull them apart easily enough, and there's like multiple different ways you could stick them together if you want.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna start walking back down the tunnel then.
Okay.
Are we ready for the lights?
Sorry, I missed you.
Are we ready to turn on the light?
Oh, my favorite part.
I guess we could try.
Back down.
You guys go
Unless
back
you-
down.
unless
Gonk, are you
specifically
staying up
said
there to
otherwise,
hold
I'm
the
going to
boulder
now
still?
assume that it's just like a feature of Miles's character. that
Yeah, no, I'm
just
gonna hold
fucking
the
loves
boulder up there
pressing
still.
buttons.
Okay. So you guys do what? You go back and
No,
turn on the
that's
light?
just
Well,
Mike.
I think we should stand on the circles again just in case.
That's his mic
Sure.
showing. I
And then
apologize.
someone. And then
You turn
someone.
on the light. Who turns on the light?
No, wait a second. I'm trying to say something.
Just. Sorry, go ahead.
Saren says, maybe stand on the circles again, and then someone turns the light on. Might not matter, but it couldn't hurt.
It's a good idea. I'll stand on the
Alright.
circle.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So who turns on the light?
Raj.
Don't ask me.
Okay. Yep, Milovaj will do it.
Well, why can't we just have Gonk come down and do it?
Because we're not sure that the boulder won't fall back down, but
Oh, that's
maybe.
true.
Milovaj turns on
that's
the
right.
light.
All right. What happens?
The light comes on, and you are now illuminated.
All right, what happens? I'm going to.
I
I'm
look
not
at the
doing
door.
it. I'm not doing
Is there
it right
anything
this
in the
second.
room that could fit the puzzle pieces we just found?
Nope.
Okay. No, there's nothing about this door here.
There's a door open,
Do we
right?
have an image like of what the puzzle pieces look like?
That's a separate puzzle.
They should be in your journal. You should be able to drag them out.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, could I teleport myself past the door?
Oh, tan 1 and tan 2.
You can try.
I don't know if I want to just die.
Can
so-
you guys move those shapes?
Oh damn, they're enormous. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it's weird because we can
Okay.
do it collectively.
So on that, there's maps where there are
specific.
There are specific configurations that you need to put them in. So once you have, like, I'll move you to an actual map with a configuration puzzle that you can try to assemble once you find one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Stop.
So nothing happened with the door. The door does not open.
The light just turned on. So yeah.
All right. If
Gonk,
it's
anything
okay
up
with
there?
you guys, I'll step off of my circle and we'll see what happens. What do you think?
I don't
Do
think
it.
anything. Yeah, man, sure.
All right.
You
I'm
step
gonna
off your
step off
circle.
my circle.
Wait, I think Mara already stepped off the circle.
Yeah.
Not intentionally.
I'll tell you right now. If you step off the circle, nothing will happen. Nothing will change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Easy enough then.
Maybe if we turn it off while we're all standing on the circles.
Well, it was already off and
I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe it doesn't have as
Yeah.
much to do with like
agreed.
standing on them.
Look up directly into the lamp.
Make a perception check.
God, I'm not the best at this. Oh, not too bad this time.
Not
17.
bad.
Behold a soft glow. The glow reminds you of your home sun.
Mm.
Because this looks like some kind of like the design looks like it's invoking the orrery, and so I kind of feel like maybe
It does. It does look similar to the orrery.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
cast light on the lamp. I don't know. Might
The
not be
light
good.
has now an additional glow to it.
Great.
You can't actually touch it though, so you unless you fly up to the ceiling somehow. Ceiling is 20 feet high.
I wonder if we need some radiant damage on the lamp, perhaps.
I want to hear.
So-
I want to hear where Mara's going with this. I think she's right about the.
Well, Yeah,
You
it's
are.
okay. So I'm just gonna take a look. Is there anywhere in the notes where like the maps are, or
What?
because I want to see the orrery diagram and how it fits with the rest of the station schematic.
No, that's the wrong one. Nope. Main hall.
Yes, that is what I was looking for. I mean, like, there's, can everyone else see this or just me?
No, I can
I
see
put
it.
everybody
So,
back
it
into the
looks
main hall.
Yeah, so like there's these 4 things here which very much look like they're invoking the colors of the circles, or like the circle, like the colored circles are very clearly indicating these particular parts of it. So I'm pretty confident the puzzle has to be something to do with this.
Milovaj speaks up at this point and he says, "There is another connection that you may be unaware of. There is a time machine within Rollup, and it currently has access to 3 ages of the distant past of this very station. 3 ages of its past plus the present equals 4 ages. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cool.
To each of the circles in turn.
I feel like I could almost take a guess at which colors signify, like in which order, but
I'm all ears. If you want to give it a shot, give it a shot.
well, okay.
Who are you talking to?
Like green, blue,
Oh,
Red.
I'm
and
specifically
black?
talking to Mara when I said I'm all ears.
you get a small chuckle inside your head. Yes, here we go. There's the thing. Is this green or gray? I can't see because everyone has these
it's
fucking colored
gray.
auras on their characters.
No, that is green. There's green, gray, red, and blue.
Is this one gray?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was black. Okay. I mean,
Somehow wrapped up in my freaking headset.
I'm gonna guess it's like blue, green, red, and gray in a like ages of the universe kind of sense. Because this feels kind of like, yes, it's like lush terrestrial life, and this is like kind of oh, the sun's gotten real hot over the past billion years, and now there's no more water on the planet. Yeah, and then gray. I mean, depends if you believe in heat death as the right model for how the universe is going to end, but
There was an astrographic report in the mission briefing. I can't remember if I said what kind of star this system has.
okay.
Oh, hang on.
Mission briefing, astrographic report.
I got it.
No, it doesn't say anything about the star. It just talks about the gas giant system.
Okay.
Yeah, the system of the gas giant you're in is unstable right now, so you can't get to it by starship, but that's not really a concern for any of you because you didn't have starships.
It's true. Huh. I feel like I'm more interested in the astronomy of this particular system than is actually
Well,
relevant.
I mean, on the observatory, there was a observatory, like a viewing deck where you could see the ring plane, and there was also a museum.
I'll have to check
Why
those
don't
out.
we use
You
the
guys,
time
you
machine
guys
to go
didn't
to
look
the
into the
past?
museum.
I wonder if that would give us any clues.
Yeah, like
The museum is fucking stuffed full of clues to the puzzles in the cathedral.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Metagaming pigeon from the DM. Go to the museum if you want to solve these puzzles.
I have an idea.
Sorry, I can't take it anymore.
Guys, I have an idea. Let's go to the museum.
Good.
You don't. To be clear, you can do whatever you want.
But, like-
But there are a shit ton of clues for these puzzles.
I'm kind of fascinated with this now. So, like,
Okay,
I
so
really
we're going
want
to
to solve this.
Are you gonna go back to the observatory then?
Hell's yeah.
Okay. What do you tell Milvaj to do with the light?
Milovaj, would you be kind
Rapidly
enough to...
cycle it on and off over and over again until the circle
No.
breaks.
Leave it on.
Leave it on. Okay.
Yeah, leave it on. We'll see
Leave
if
it
the boulder
in.
comes back.
Leave it in the state that we found it.
Well, which is it gonna be? Leave it off or leave it on? Boolean choice.
Leave it alone. Gonk, let's go.
Just leave
I
it
would say
as it
leave.
is.
I would say wait. Oh.
We leave
Hmm.
it.
Okay. You guys return to the observatory. You go back to the
In the
linking bubble.
observatory, are there any lights that are like noticeably significant and associated with the four corners? Like,
Roll up observatory.
so like is there like a spotlight above one of the corners, for example?
The great tree is green.
Roll up observatory. Where's Mara?
It's a pretty great tree, to be honest.
Find Gary Busey.
Way.
Okay, so you are all now back in the roll up observatory. The museum level is accessed by a library. There's also doors leading to a lab and engineering
Oh, sorry, I
department.
thought it was
Please tell me the
And-
library's by the pool.
A
Never
lounge.
mind.
And there's also a room with a gigantic fucking tree in it.
Cool.
Well, we want to go towards the museum level, right? That's what Pigeon told us.
Is the tree just a stump?
It is just a stump, but it is about 100 feet across and maybe 75 feet high.
Okay, I think Mara's gonna walk in there, just sort of wander aimlessly around and see if it's like.
It is a lush field of grass. The grass is wavering softly and gently.
Okay.
There's a peaceful environment here. It's very odd.
Okay. Mara's gonna kind of
However, as you enter the room, can you please roll initiative?
Woohoo!
Oh. Okay. Well, I mean, as this is happening, I think Mara, before she quite realizes she's in combat, is going to.
You're not in combat.
Oh, okay. All right. See if she can.
I mean, yet.
Get in touch with the architect and ask them just like what this tree is.
Okay. Yeah. So, So what was your initiative?
Oh, sorry,
Mara?
I forgot to roll because I'm smart.
Okay.
Oh, yay! Nice.
So you ask your question, and Architect Aurelian begins to speak, and he says, "This is a representation of the Great Tree, a concept from Rhone mythology or theology. It represents the sum of all paths, the multiverse in all of its incarnations, all possible timelines in all possible universes, rolled into one enormous cosmic structure, its branches spreading from end to end of creation.
And yeah,
This
tree is
appears
cut
to be a stump. I'm unsure of the exact symbolism of that. It's clearly intentional, as the room is no higher than this stump could possibly grow. But other than that, it is.
That seems like a very morbid.
It is a very frequent motif in their artwork, in their architecture. You'll often find images and references to the Great Tree, also called etched creation. What they refer to as the art is their practice of using and manipulating their interpretation of etched creation that is reaching out threads of the axis along the branches of the Great Tree and linking to ages amongst it.
I think
Does the tree
Belly
ever
kind of
feature as-
interrupts
as
randomly and
stump in any of
yells,
their art?
"Take it back! Take back what you have given!"
What?
Yes.
Does the
On your
does the tree
turn,
ever cut down in their art? Myths? Anything?
just need to. Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh, saving throw.
Yes.
Okay. $22.
Okay. You're good. Nothing happens.
And I just don't get an answer to that question.
What? Sorry, what was your question?
Oh, is the tree ever cut down in any of like the arts or stories or whatever or allegories associated with the Great Tree?
I don't know about cut down, but there were critics of the Great Tree theology and what it represented in Rone society for sure.
Okay, so this is
There was a
made
prophet,
by
for
those
instance,
critics as
called Phaedra, or also some called her the Watcher. She was devoted to everything the Rone were not. She opposed their public decisions. She opposed their practices. She despised them.
their public decisions.
Yes, the Rone Empire. Another term for it was the tapestry, the Rone tapestry. It consisted of their overworld, which was their home city of Aegera,
Mhm.
and then the extended tapestry was all of the ages to which they had linked from Aegera, all of the universes in which they lived, in which they traveled and had adventures and contacted. Colonized, in essence.
Okay, so were they violent?
The Rone?
Yeah.
They fought wars, yes.
What did they fight wars for?
It depended on the war. They have a very, very long history, millions and millions of years. I could speak about their wars for the entire duration of your lifespan and
What
not be a
percentage of
fifth
their wars were wars of conquest?
analyzing. %37%.
37% were wars of conquest.
Yes.
It's not bad, really.
How many? Pardon?
It's not bad, really. Most of the wars I fought in were wars of conquest.
How many were civil wars?
Many. Most.
Analyzing. %55%.
I feel like I'm gonna have to look. Sorry, I don't want to railroad this session.
Make another wisdom saving throw.
Lore questions, but
Lore is the center of this campaign. Please ask lore questions. Please, 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 please.
All right. Okay, now I lost my train of thought.
I'm more proud that Sarah's asking all the lore questions.
What were the civil wars? Were they fought to overthrow governments, or were they fought by one power faction against another?
Analyzing. About equal portions of both, slightly in favor of attempted overthrows.
Were the overthrows ever successful?
Sometimes.
Interesting. Thank you.
You are welcome.
How did the people who were part of that empire live? Were they free? Were they
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay. Fuck.
Let me just check real quick. No, you're fine.
Okay.
So you asked how did they live? Were they free?
Yeah. Were they free? Were they
Rone society was class stratified. The Rone themselves were the ruling class. Somewhat second to them were known as Afrotanti, visitors or outsiders. Bookworlders is the literal translation. These were people who they met in the ages they colonized who looked like them or enough like them to be considered enough like them. So you yourself are
Mara is liking whoever made this art piece more and more.
you yourself are would be considered Rone by our systems.
Pardon?
As would you, Miles.
Sorry, who would be considered Rone?
You.
Me.
There's a kind of a sense of a tingling sense of being watched as all of you now kind of get this sensation of glittering lights all over the walls, briefly looking at you or seeming to glow amidst the points of the stained glass panels. Your party consists of Analyzing. 2 Rone. 1 Error. 2 Afroton. And 1 Bafro.
Interesting.
2 Rone.
Can you
Alright,
type those out for me so I can make a note?
Huh. Okay, and what? Is there one other human in the party with us?
Miles is human, I believe.
And
Miles,
and
you're
Miles
human,
is-
right?
Pardon?
And me.
Mike,
I'm sorry?
you're human, right? Your character?
Yes.
Yes.
Who says that?
Sorry,
Really?
who else was the other Rone?
You and Miles are the Rone.
Okay, so this is humans then.
Yes.
Huh.
I believe. Did I make the general archives record about Bafro and Afroton public?
I don't think so.
Or is
Maybe,
that-
or maybe I just didn't. Oh no, never mind. Rone. There we go. The Rone are a species of highly advanced, intensively secretive, plane-hopping immortals, who today have all but vanished.
Okay, yes, the Bafro and Afroton is there. So, Afroton are Rone-like outsiders who closely resemble Rone. So, elves, dwarves, half-elves, halflings, gnomes, some Azamar, some half-orcs would be considered Afroton. Bafro, on the other hand, are outsiders to Rone, who are sufficiently unlike them as to be considered alien, or in
Okay,
the minds
so-
of the ruling Rone class, sometimes called the Proud, lesser, inferior, or beast-like. The word Bafro literally means beast people.
So basically barbarian.
Okay,
Species
so
that the Rone and their technology identify Bafro include, but are not limited to, orcs, bugbears, giants, goblins, tieflings, tabaxi, dragonborn, furbolgs, some Azabar, Gith, some warforged, and so on.
So, are humans descendants of the Rone, or
Out of
Or-
game,
or-
it seems the Rone are just a name for humans from a different universe.
okay? Oh, so yeah, they're just from a different.
In that universe, the Rone is the name these humans took for themselves.
Cool. I see.
But they're speciesist.
So it's just like a bunch of really racist humans.
Yes, and they're immortal, and they've colonized tens of thousands of different planes of existence, and they've enslaved the people that they've met there. And
Wow,
kinda
I
like
hate that
evil
so
Time
much.
Lords.
Time to become a class traitor, Christ.
that is why I was saying I think you guys are going to absolutely either despise the villains of this. Yeah, I think you're basically going to despise the villains of this story.
Excellent. Good.
Because the Roni are colonizing slavers, and they're assholes.
Okay, well, time to kill some fun. Okay, so sorry, what was the name? What was the name of that? Okay, what was the name of that prominent opponent of the
Right by
Rone
Mike.
or critic?
Phaedra.
I gotta go
Phaedra.
too. I'll
It
catch
was
you guys.
Phaedra Rone.
She was.
Okay.
Bye,
If
guys.
you-
Thank you for joining us.
Of course. That was fun.
Is she still alive?